Welcome to the deep dive. Today we're looking at really a collision course, right, between desperation and, well, undeniable power.
Yeah, the sources we've got detail this incredibly high-stakes situation, life or death, really.
It all centers on how one man's, let's say, darker influence was suddenly focused entirely on saving one small child.
It's quite a story.
So let's start with Madison. She really embodies vulnerability here.
Absolutely. A nurse pulling double shifts at Metropolitan General, just ground down.
Single mother to Elijah, he's 5. Drowning in student loans, debt. Just trying to stay afloat.
And the crucial part, Elijah, because he was born prematurely, at 32 weeks, he's immunocompromised.
Which adds this layer of constant, gnawing anxiety on top of the exhaustion.
Exactly. She's hanging on by a thread, financially and emotionally. That's the backdrop.
And in this precarious life steps, or rather looms, Alessio Moretti.
Moretti, yeah. The sources paint him as this figure whispered about, owns the darker half of Eastbrook, supposedly.
There's this immediate chilling effect when he shows up places. Like the nurse's station you mentioned.
Total silence.
Yeah.
And it's not just reputation. There's that casual mention of him donating a whole hospital wing.
Right after a rival's warehouse conveniently burns down.
Suspiciously, yeah. That's the kind of power we're talking about. Not subtle.
Dangerous. Untouchable.
Yeah.
So our mission today is to unpack how Madison's incredibly vulnerable life slammed into Moretti's world.
Starting at the absolute point of crisis.
Okay, so picture this. Madison's finally heading home. It's been a brutal 14-hour shift. She's exhausted, probably running numbers in her head.
She's trying to get back to her son.
And then terror strikes. Elijah, who she knew had a fever, 101.3. He has a seizure right there on the street, Pine near 9th.
Oh, wow. Every parent's nightmare.
And the source material gives this horrifying detail. Madison, the nurse, is counting the seconds. 23 eternal seconds, it says.
That feeling of helplessness, even for a trained medical professional, just paralyzing.
But then something completely unexpected happens. A sleek black car pulls up.
Not an ambulance. Not what you'd expect.
No. Reddy gets out, doesn't hesitate, scoops up Elijah, gets them both in the car, and they're heading to Metropolitan General.
Faster than any ambulance could have gotten there, the sources imply. He just moves differently, bypasses everything.
And that power is immediately obvious at the hospital.
Oh, absolutely. Think about just trying to get seen quickly in an ER. The bureaucracy.
Right. It disappears for him. Madison's boss, Dr. Miller, his whole tone changes.
The source says Madison had never heard him use that tone with anyone. Total deference.
Moretti just radiates authority. The system bends.
And while Madison's waiting, frantic, he doesn't ask if she needs anything. He makes sure she gets food, coffee.
Delivered like a command, not a request.
Exactly. It's controlling, for sure, but it's also effective. Immediate care delivered with this absolute certainty.
It's almost like a possessive kind of protection. A first clue, maybe, that this isn't just random kindness.
Definitely not random. And the immediate crisis, the seizure, turns out to be just the beginning, the blood work. That's when things get really dark.
So Elijah is stabilized from the seizure, but Dr. Miller comes back with the results.
And it's bad news. Abnormalities in the blood work. White blood cell count is way off.
Not just a simple infection, then.
No. The next step he mentions, oncology, an immediate consult.
And even though Madison's a nurse, knows the terminology, the word cancer just hits her like a physical blow.
Understandably. And this medical crisis, terrible as it is, it becomes the opening Moretti needed.
How so?
Right after she gets this devastating news, Moretti finds her, and he drops the other bombshell.
Okay.
He reveals he knows her ex, Anthony Ricci. The man Madison thought was Elijah's father.
One who supposedly worked as an investment banker.
Yeah, except he didn't. Turns out Anthony worked for Moretti, and then he disappeared, apparently after stealing something significant.
So Anthony was the connection all along.
Oh.
But not in the way Madison thought.
Exactly. Moretti lays it out, quiet but definite. Anthony is not Elijah's father.
Wait, so?
Moretti is, he tells her. The connection wasn't recent. It was a single night, 6 years ago.
6 years?
How? A charity gala. At the Venetian Hotel. Madison was working, catering, invisible to most people there.
Not to him?
Apparently not. And the proof. Something Madison had always noticed but explained away.
What was that?
Elijah's eyes. Striking copper eyes, the source calls them. She thought it was some distant heritage from Anthony.
But they're Moretti's eyes.
They're Moretti's eyes. And his claim to paternity isn't just based on that one night. It's far more chilling.
Chilling how?
He admits he's had him followed since birth.
Follow, you mean like surveillance?
Yes, he has photographs. Every milestone. First steps, starting preschool, even a small scar from a fall, a stitch on his chin.
Oh my God. That's terrifying. For 5 years.
There were 5 years. This wasn't a sudden realization for Moretti. It was constant, covert monitoring.
So the photos aren't just proof. They're a threat.
That's the psychological weight of it, isn't it? There's proof, yes, but it's also this unspoken statement, I've always been watching. Your life was never entirely separate.
Especially for someone like Madison, who is just fighting for basic privacy and control. To find out she's been under his microscope.
It's the ultimate leverage. And now that leverage, that control, is being turned towards fighting this new threat.
Acute lymphoblastic leukemia, all L.
The official diagnosis. Devastating.
But there's some hope in the prognosis, right? The sources mentioned 85–90% survival.
A 5-year survival rate, yes. If treatment is aggressive, immediate, and importantly, the right kind of treatment.
And this is where Moretti's resources just changed the game completely.
Totally. He doesn't just accept the standard oncology team at Metropolitan General.
No. What does he do?
He brings in his own expert, Dr. Paolo Vincenti, described as one of Europe's leading specialists in pediatric oncology.
From Europe. How does that even work? Hospital privileges? Licensing?
Overnight. Somehow, privileges are granted overnight. That's Moretti's power overriding international institutional red tape like it's nothing.
Just making it happen.
Yeah.
And the treatment itself.
Also not standard. It's described as a modified protocol. It combines the usual chemotherapy with an experimental immunotherapy.
Experimental.
Yeah.
From a European trial. Is that even approved in the U.S.?
Not yet, no. And this is a huge conflict for Madison. The sources really detail her struggle with this.
As a nurse, she'd understand the risks of unapproved treatments.
Exactly. She knows the data, the potential dangers of going off-label. It's a harrowing choice.
But what other choice does she have?
That's the thing. With her resources, none. This high-risk, cutting-edge protocol, backed by Moretti's unlimited funds, suddenly becomes the only path to that hopeful 90% survival rate.
And the cost barrier just vanishes.
Moretti tells her point blank, all expenses covered, everything. The one thing that would have absolutely stopped her, doomed Elijah under normal circumstances, is just gone.
So the trade-off is already made. Her independence, her financial reality, exchanged for access.
The transaction is complete, sealed by medical necessity. But then there's the question of why. Why is Moretti doing all this? Is it just possessiveness, control?
Is there something more?
The sources offer a really interesting layer here. Moretti shares something personal.
How is it?
He tells Madison his own younger brother died of leukemia when Moretti was just 10 years old.
Wow.
He actually says, I know what this disease can do. It adds this dimension of deep personal grief to his action.
Which complicates everything. You have this ruthless, dangerous man, but he's also driven by this old wound.
It forces you and Madison to see him differently. Is it genuine? Is it calculated to gain her trust?
Or maybe both.
Yeah.
A way to justify the control he's exerting by framing it as protection born from pain.
It could absolutely be both. That's the paradox of their whole relationship. It makes his control feel almost like devotion.
And you see that mix in the smaller details too, right? The almost surreal things he does.
Like the food he arranges, gourmet meals showing up at the hospital.
Dinosaur-shaped pancakes from Chef Antonio. That detail jumped out. It's so bizarrely domestic for a man like him.
It really is. It highlights the strange new reality. He's bringing Lego sets, a really high-quality telescope for Elijah.
And the leather jacket.
Yeah.
The one he called armor.
Yeah, that feels significant. The man who deals in actual danger is now providing symbolic armor for a sick child. He's dedicating his immense resources to making Elijah feel safe during chemo.
Okay, so the treatment is underway, the alliance is formed, but Madison still needs some kind of control, at least legally?
And Moretti provides it. He presents her with the DNA results, official, irrefutable, 99.998% probability.
So it's confirmed. Legally, he is the father.
Yes, but even as he gives her the proof, he makes the power dynamic crystal clear.
Oh.
He tells her essentially that the paper doesn't matter as much as his influence. He says he could change that paternity with one phone call.
Meaning he could make the legal document disappear or irrelevant if he wanted to.
Precisely. He's reminding her gently, perhaps, but firmly, that a custody battle between her, a nurse deep in debt, and him, well, she wouldn't stand a chance.
His power trumps the paper.
Always. But despite that constant underlying threat, something else starts to happen. A real bond seems to form.
Through the crisis itself.
Yeah. There's a moment when Elijah's condition worsens suddenly, spikes of fever,